I'm wishing. Hello, my name is Momo Bryan and I make videos about immersive experiences all over the world. And this is a series where we try to get immersed at home. I can't do it. Diaphragm. It's hard. Who am I? Brizzy voices? I can only dream of being that cute. I also just released a video about Disney World, so I was like, synergy, let's do a full immersion Disney video. Something recent and in the cultural consciousness, perhaps, that could appease the algorithm and the masses. People are making videos about Raya and Luca. Encanto is about to be released. We could hop on that hype train, perhaps, but no. We are going to do my personal favorite Disney movie that no one else cares about. But before we begin, do you like Disney stuff and playing games on your phone? Do we have a sponsor for you? Thank you to Disney Emoji Blitz for sponsoring today's video. You can go ahead and download the game for free using the link below on your mobile device or tablet. Disney Emoji Blitz is a unique 3-match game where you can collect these cute little characters from Disney, Pixar. They even have some Star Wars ones like Yoda and Queen Amidala. They have a wild amount of characters. Like, you can even get Sora from Kingdom Hearts, which is right up my alley. And each character has their own individual unique power-up that you can use to strategize and customize your experience. They're constantly adding new characters, like they had a Sanderson sister for Halloween, and now they have Christmas Sally and Gingerbread Mickey. And if that's not cool enough, you can also use the emojis that you unlock in the game on your phone, just like in your messages. Like a cute little trophy. You can download and play the game absolutely free using the link in the description, and that's a creator link, so if you ever decide to buy any of the optional things in the game, it helps support me, your girl. Also, if you didn't know, I play a princess that was transformed into a goblin in a podcast called Realms Apart. And if 1,000 of you download Disney Emoji Blitz on my socials, I'll release a Snow White cover sung by my little goblin. I'll give you a little taste of what that might sound like now. Thank you for all of the support that this campaign has gotten so far, and thank you Disney Emoji Blitz for sponsoring another video. So, to begin this series of things no one asked for, let's make this Snow White movie night immersive. That didn't even sound like Snow White. Immersive. Personally, Snow White for me is the complete package. Beautiful aesthetics, a historical context that I find fascinating, a very simple Hallmark movie-esque plot that my anxiety can handle. Fun fact, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs by Walt Disney Pictures was not the first full-length animated film. The first full-length animated feature was actually made by Argentinian filmmaker Quirino Cristiani. It's called El Apostol in 1917. But the second full-length feature animated film was also Cristiani, with Cindeja Rastros in 1918. But the first full-length feature animated film with synchronized sound was also Cristiani, with Belludopolis in 1931. These were all political satires and had a lot of mature themes for animation at the time, and are sadly all considered lost films, but credit where credit is due. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was the first American full-length feature animation, and I still think made huge strides for the industry, but when I started this script, I didn't even know that Snow White wasn't the first animated feature. Even the Academy gave it a special mention for being the first animated feature. So, sorry, Cristiani. Lucy says Cristiani is a real one. Right? But, like I said, Snow White still has huge historical significance, so for the sight portion of this video, I'm going to recommend a documentary that I watched for the Disney World video. So, my goal here is to get less immersed in the world of Snow White and more immersed in the context in which it was created. Whenever anybody asks me, like, if you could go back to any point in time, where would you go? I want to go to the premiere of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I just want to be in the room where a cultural touchstone in the industry of animation happened, and a bunch of people saw something that they had never seen before, and for all of these exhausted animators to see all of this work that everyone in Hollywood said was a waste of time, pay off for them. I just think it'd be neat.
And I was so impressed because the people that I'd always admired and thought, gee, these are my gods, you know, they're so good. They wanted to meet me because I'd done something big. Back to the farm.
If how emotional I got talking about Disney's legacy in the Disney World video did not make my patheticness that obvious. So for the Disney World video, I was just trying to find a bunch of clips of Walt Disney, but I came across this documentary about the making of Snow White, narrated by Angela Lansbury. And for all of the videos, I kind of just skimmed them to find what I need, but I ended up sitting down and watching this entire documentary and using a lot of footage from it because it was just really fascinating. It was only available as like a special feature on a Snow White VHS in some areas, something like that. You can find it online. It has a bunch of interviews from the animators who worked on the film at the time and tells the whole story of its development. And it was really interesting, and I learned a lot of things, like, did you know that they completely recorded and animated a song about soup that ended up getting cut?
With a spoon, with a bowl, with the music in your soul, you can cheer things up with the zup, zup, zup of the music in your soup.
You see, even though we liked the sequence, it was not essential to the telling of the story.
Can't imagine why. Also, the Disney animation team would try out new methods and styles in their Silly Symphonies cartoons before implementing them into Snow White. I kind of want to try that on this channel. Like, you might see me do some weird things in the little videos like this if I ever want to try them for like a documentary or something, you know. And my favorite fun fact, apparently they got this effect on Snow White's face, you know, how her cheeks and lips look all glowy and soft, because the women in the coloring department put real makeup on the animation cells. And when Walt looked it over and he was like, "This looks great, ladies, but I'm worried about you being able to put it in the exact right spot every single time," the woman said, "Mr. Disney, what do you think we do every day?" You know, I love a story about women in the early age of animation saying, "Hey, Mr. Disney, shut up." So, I explained in the last video in this series, which was Over the Garden Wall, card, that the touch section is going to be more metaphorical, you know, getting the feel for a thing. But sometimes it will not. It will be very literal. I also feel I need to remind you, my lovely audience, that this series might not always be serious. So for the feel portion of this video, I felt I needed to touch a bird. I must know what it feels like to touch a bird. I've never touched a bird. Have you touched a bird? I just want to know what it feels like to be her, to be so beautiful and gentle that nature loves you. So the original plan was I was gonna try and contact some bird shelters and see if I could volunteer for a day or two. So I called a local animal sanctuary and emailed them asking to volunteer in exchange for holding a bird for a YouTube video, and I never got a response. I can't imagine why. Yeah, it's really easy to hate myself sometimes. So then I resorted to grabbing a handful of mealworms that my family uses for bird feeders and sitting outside hoping for the best. I sat outside with a handful of mealworms for hours. This is a dumb bit, but I'll be damned if I'm not dedicated to the craft. I got a lot of meditation in, so that was nice. I'm talking like multiple days. Okay, so day 2. I have my therapy workbook. I have my coffee. It is the morning time. I'm gonna go sit outside, wait for a bird. I grabbed a handful of mealworms and sat outside in complete silence for like an hour. Hello, it's editing Momo. Do you not want to be seen?
No, okay.
Okay, we're playing Final Fantasy X.
I wanted to say for this bit, I don't know anyone that owns a bird. So around this point is when I genuinely started getting very serious about this bird quest, because I don't know if anybody has gone on a quest to hold a bird. It's hard. Wait, can we show everybody the names of my Aeons? We have 2% Milk, Shh, iPhone 83, and Sugar Tits. So just when I thought that this segment was going to be a joke and me superimposing like bird clip art onto my hand. Sorry, editing Momo, I still want to see it. My dad one day said, "Hey, psst, come outside." Apparently when he was taking out the trash that morning, he saw a small friend had fallen into the bin.
Are you recording? Oh, you are now.
Oh, he's breathing so heavy. I'm sorry, buddy.
No.
It's okay.
So I showed this video to a friend of mine who is a master naturalist and wildlife inspector, handle here. They offered some wisdom in this area. This is the noble and adorable chickadee. They like when you make a psh, 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 psh noise and sunflower seeds.
You are so cute.
One of the most important things for wildlife, especially urban wildlife, is improving their habitat. They recommend putting up supplementary feeders with high-quality food, planting native grasses, shrubs, and trees, and providing them with clean, fresh water. They recommended a website called Nest Watch that has a free pattern for folks to build their own nest box, so I'll include that in the description. They also say that commercial feed is not very high in quality, so they recommend getting black oil sunflower seed, cracked corn, and peanuts, especially in the wintertime.
Might have to give them some food or some seed.
If you find an injured bird, they say the best two options are to leave the bird right where it is or contact a local accredited wildlife rehabber. If you live within a half an hour of a zoo facility, that is the best bet, but local fish and wildlife agencies and offices run them as well.
Are we friends now? Don't poop on me. I'm about to leave. Come on. Get off.
They also told me about this thing called eBird, which is like Pokemon Go, but for birds.
Oh, pooped on me. That's okay.
I asked them if they knew about any charities that work with birds so I could shout them out here. And they actually recommend looking for local tribal council efforts since 80% of biodiversity is protected on tribal land. They gave me a link for a program from the Yurok tribe in California, so that'll be in the description. They also told me about this thing called the Christmas bird count, and they were very excited about it, so you don't have to put this in the video, but Christmas bird count is kind of like LARPing as an ornithologist. I don't even know what an ornithologist is. And it's a tradition that's been going on for nearly 200 years now. They also say that the community of bird lovers is really looking for new people because a lot of them are like older, so they want to like pass it on to the next generation, so yeah, it started out as a dumb bit about me wanting to hold a bird, turned into something wholesome and educational. Moving on. To put myself in the mindset of a moviegoer at the time of the release of Snow White, I'm gonna listen to some tunes from the year it came out. I'm going to probably have to put placeholders here because of copyright, but I'm gonna make a Spotify playlist, and can I put the icon thing here? I'm gonna try to put the icon thing here, and the link will be in the description if you want to listen to some old tunes with me. So I just had time to take a break from editing, and I'm on a real big Planet Coaster kick, and I just realized I can justify it because I haven't even started my old-timey Spotify playlist yet, so we're diving into research and building silly little buildings. So I looked up the top songs in the charts in 1938, one of which is Bamir Duchesne by the Andrews Sisters, which I only know from BioShock, one of which is from the Seven Dwarfs. So I found a song from the era called Put Her There, Pal, and it's a duet between two men, and it'll be on the playlist. You can listen to it for yourself. But I'm not sure if there isn't a heterosexual explanation for it. I'm here doing a nice red lip for tonight. It's been like 2 days of listening to music from the 1930s, and I feel like a Downton Abbey character.
Is that food for me?
There you go. We found a lot of lo-fi samples.
Yeah! This music came out in the middle of the Great Depression, and I was having a really rough day yesterday, and I put it on while I was playing Pokemon, and I could feel, not my depression being cured, because it is a great depression, but like, I did feel it soften a little bit. I'm gonna make dessert while I eat dinner. So, like, obviously we're gonna make a pie. Fun fact about me, I love making pies. It is a surprisingly easy dish to make, and it looks like a work of art. Like, if you have cookie cutters and leftover dough, you can essentially just add like stickers to your pie before putting it into the oven, and when it comes out, it looks wildly impressive.
It looks like it says glump.
So in the movie, Snow White is making gooseberry pie, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what a gooseberry is, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it in a grocery store. So let's play a fun little engagement game. Comment down below if you think I have successfully found the gooseberries, or I have failed, and we will be making apple pie instead. That was a drum roll. So, I went to the grocery store, looked for gooseberries for quite some time, went up to the man working and asked, hey, I'm looking for gooseberries. Should I give up? And he said he did not even know what those are. So, we're making apple pie. So, I'm gonna show you the recipe that I use for all my pie crusts. All right, let's get domestic. Hey Alexa, can you play music from the 1930s? So we're gonna sift 4 cups of flour. The vibes here are immaculate. That was 1, right? 1 tablespoon of kosher salt. The rind and juice of half a lemon. Set the juice to the side and add the rinds to the flour mixture. Get in there, rinds. Mix it all up with the whisk. Then we're gonna take some lard. A very feminine pie ingredient. Lard. Then we're just gonna chop it up into teeny tiny little cubes. So then you're gonna go in with a pastry knife. I did not know what a pastry knife is when I started making this recipe, so I just like went at it, I think with a fork or something, and like that was fine. I wish I had some birds right now that I could exploit for manual labor. When the mixture looks like this, you're gonna wanna stop, but if you'd like an example on what happens when you go on a little too long.
I feel like I might have added too much flour.
There does look like there's a lot of flour. Did you not measure it?
I did, but I forgot which number I was on by the time it took me to sift the cup.
I trust you. I'm sure you're right.
I don't trust me. Well, dear audience, do as I say, not as I do.
I might be here a while. Okay, I'm actually gonna go watch BuzzFeed Unsolved with Matt while I do this. I feel like we might be okay, Matt, because like the more I go, the kind of goopier it gets. Until the mix resembles a floury crumble. That looks pretty floury crumbly to me. Oh, wait. I might have messed up. Yeah. I think I gotta start all over again. Should I just keep going? Because it doesn't seem to be taking to the dough. It says to add the whipped egg white while it's still floury. This is so far from floury.
That's fine.
I think I just got started. Maybe do you want 2 pies?
Yeah. Go for it.
2 pies it is.
2 pies!
This is not my first time making this recipe, by the way. It just, everything I do, it really seems like I'm doing it for the first time. Can you pass me an egg?
Catch.
No!
Separate 1 egg. Put the white into a small bowl and the yolk into a measuring jug, and then whisk the egg white until white and foamy. Add the lemon juice that you squeezed earlier to the egg yolk.
Mind the dirty dishes.
And then add water till it hits the 1 cup line. Create a well in the flour. Add the yolk mixture to it and then fold 7 to 12 times.
Woo!
Add the egg white and then fold again until you can mold it into a ball. Divide the dough into 2 balls, wrap them in saran wrap, and put them in the fridge for about an hour.
This is the top and that's the bottom. This gives me time to clean the kitchen and make the filling.
To get B-roll, I watched the scene where she makes a pie. She makes it look way too easy. Like, God, I'm exhausted. The filling recipe, I'm following Apple Pie by Grandma Opal from All Recipes, which is another one I have done before. I know it really doesn't seem like I've done this before. I have, I promise.
Melt a half a cup of butter in a saucepan. Add in 3 tablespoons of flour until it's more of a paste. Add 1/4 cups of water. A half a cup of brown sugar. A half a cup of white sugar. And just stir that all up.
Okay, now for the most domestic part.
Okay, so remember to put flour on the counter and also your rolling pin. And if you don't have a rolling pin, for many years I used a wine bottle. Didn't even need a knife. Take that, Snow White.
I feel like such wife material.
Peel and chop 8 Granny Smith apples.
I'd get poisoned so easily.
Can I claim this space for an apple? Okay, we're putting them in the oven now, and this outfit's real cute and all, but that was way more work than I thought it was gonna be, so I'm gonna put pajamas on now. Throw them in, Matt!
Bye, Gravity. Bye. Is that going to be a theme in your videos? You always name a thing and then I always call it something eldritch.
Like demonic.
So I decided to break out the candle that I originally bought for the Over the Garden Wall video that smelled like the woods. But also, there's so many shots of a wood burning fire, and luckily my temporary living situation has a fireplace. So, thank you. Thank you to my bird bud for all the very helpful information about our feathered friends. Thank you to Disney Emoji Blitz for sponsoring this video. I'm sure I should say thank you to Matt because I'm sure I made him hold a camera and point it at me a couple times in this adventure. Thank you to my Patreons who support me and allow me to make silly little videos like this, like for a living. It's crazy. Thank you. And thank you to you for getting all the way through this video and helping me appease the algorithm gods, algorithm evil stepmothers. If you'd like to subscribe, that'd be cool. I have social media, if that's your thing. Okay. Think we're done? All right. Okay. Guess we're done.